The village of Kampung Sari huddled at the edge of a forest that never stopped breathing. Its trees were old trunks, twisted like broken fingers, leaves so thick, even noon looked like dusk. The locals called it Hutan yang Menjingat, the forest that remembers. And on the day Lila's brother Kale burned with a fever that turned his skin as grey as ash, the forest exhaled. Lila stood at its edge, a pot of jasmine tea in her hands. The air smelled of wet earth and something sweeter jasmine, but too strong, like a funeral offering. A leaf fell. When it hit the ground, it whispered, "Lila." She should have run, but Kale's cough still echoed in her ears, raspy, wet, like a cloth being torn. So she stepped into the forest. The clearing waited. At its center stood a woman, or what looked like a woman. Her skin was aged teak, but it rippled, as if threads stitched her together. Her hair was a storm of black thread, coiling like snakes. In her hands, a loom, its frame carved from bone, and threads of light silver, gold, and a pale blue that ached in her chest. Her face, eyes like black pits, mouth a smile stitched from shards of broken pottery. Sharp, hungry. "You've come to barter," she said. Her voice was the clatter of her loom. Lila's throat tightened. "Can you heal my brother?" The weaver tilted her head. "I mend, but mending needs thread. Your thread. A memory. The one that hurts most." She swept a hand toward the loom. The tapestry taller than the trees, glowing, filled the space. It showed Kale, still in his cot, chest not rising. Beside him, Lila's mother, face blurred. A man with Lila's father's hands walked into the forest, vanishing. "This is the weave of what was," the weaver said. She plucked a thread from the tapestry, the one with Lila's mother's face. It sang, a high, keening note, like a child crying. "This is the memory of her last song. Give it to me, and Kale's chest will rise. Refuse, and his thread will snap." Lila thought of Kale's small hand, cold in hers. Of the way he'd once called her Lily, when he couldn't say her name. She thought of her mother's song, a lullaby about fireflies, and how it felt to forget it. "I can live without a song," she whispered. "He can't live without a life." The weaver's loom clattered faster. The mother's thread snapped. A new thread, pale, trembling, wove into Kale's form. Kale's chest rose. His eyes fluttered open. "Done," the weaver said. "But remember, the forest remembers. And mends can unravel." That night, Lila ran home. Kale sat up, grinning, eating mango. Lila tried to smile, but her brow furrowed. She pulled out her mother's batik scarf, fireflies stitched into the cloth, and stared, confused. The fireflies dimmed. That night, she dreamed of the tapestry. Kale's thread glowed bright, but Lila's own thread, once vivid, faded, as if the weaver was unweaving her. At dawn, Lila rushed back to the forest. The weaver was waiting, her loom clattering faster. "You've come to bargain," she said. "Clever girl, but the forest's terms are clear. Kale's life needs more thread. Your father's laugh, your first word, your fear of the dark. Give them, or he unravels." Lila stared at the tapestry. Kale's face flickered. A thread frayed. "Take all of them," she said, "but let him live. Let him remember." The weaver's threads shot out, coiling around Lila's chest, her arms, her head. They burrowed into her skin, and she felt it all slipping. Her father's hand on her shoulder, the taste of her mother's coconut cake, the way Kale had once clung to her skirt. The threads pulled them free, spinning into the tapestry. Lila's body faded semi-transparent, like smoke. She reached for Kal, who appeared at the forest edge, calling her name. The weaver touched her shoulder. "He'll forget you by dawn, but the forest, it remembers. You'll watch over him. Remember for him." That morning, the villagers found Kale at the forest edge, crying. "Lila was here," he said, but no one could find her, not even a footprint. Years later, when Kale was a father, he'd take his daughter to the forest edge at dusk. "There's a spirit here," he'd say, as the wind rustled the trees. "She mends broken things, but she takes memories. And if you listen," he'd pause, and his daughter would swear she heard it, a clatter, like a loom, deep in the trees. "She's still weaving." That night, the girl would dream of a tapestry. In it, a girl with Lila's eyes stood at the center, her form made of light. Around her, threads wove 1,000 stories of a mother's song, a brother's laugh, a father who walked into the forest, and at the very edge, a single thread glowed. Lila's, still bright, still remembering, for all of them.